Okay, I've got a few more videos from this year's racing season that I've got to get out. This was the series final for Pacific Raceways circuit race, and this is the 45 plus Masters race. Currently, I'm sitting in fourth place. I'm 1 point behind Bradley Haley for third, and we've got Doug on our team who is, I believe, tied for first place with Andrew Martin of 10 Speed Hero. So both Doug and I are hoping to either improve or hold on to our spot. So obviously Doug wants to get first, and I would love to move up a spot. Jumping ahead to the first main attack of the race, you can see one of my teammates off there on the left took off. I can't remember who it was. Don't know if it was Kirk or Tyler, but anyway, we're chasing them down. So my goal in this race is I was hoping that I could potentially take the preem. There's one preem lap, and that preem gives you 1 point towards the series. So if I got that preem, then I would be tied with Bradley. However, we do have Andrew Martin from 10 Speed Hero in the race, and he is definitely the best sprinter. He pretty much can win it if he wants it. Two-time national track champion this year, Masters. I can't remember exactly what races he won, but anyway, he's the main threat. So that's the plan. If I can tie Bradley, then I would only need to come in ahead of him in the final sprint. And the way this works is basically you get points for the top 5 places. So I'd have to place in the top 5, one spot ahead of him if I was able to get the preem. Again, those are all uh, tough things to accomplish, but that was my hope. All right, we got another attack going off here. We had a good representation on Hoggins Bermans in this race. I can't remember how many guys we had, but a lot of good, strong guys in here. Kirk, Tyler, Doug, myself, um, several others. That is Andrew Martin right there to the left in the blue jersey with the stripes around it. So he's the one I got beat for the preem lap, which hasn't happened yet. Another beautiful day of racing. I think we're at about 77 degrees. Yeah, 77 degrees. So mid to high 70s in this race. I am planning on racing the 35 plus race right after this. So that will kind of play into how this ends. This is the escape route, which basically means we've got the hill every lap. It's not the steep hill, it's kind of a more gradual, kind of a double step of a hill. Right now I'm just pulling over the side in the wind just so I can pour water over my head. So if you're wondering why I'm doing that, I think I was just pouring water on myself and didn't want to pour it all over the Peloton. This was not the final race out of Pacific Raceways of the year. The way it ended up working was this was the final for the series points, but we had 2 additional races after this, which I think were on September 10th and September 24th. And I already do have those videos out, so if you haven't seen them, go out and check them out. There's Bradley Haley right there in front of me. He's my main competition for the night in terms of the series. I do like the escape route. This is fun. You got this descent here, which is not too fast, but a fun descent. And then you go right into the hill, so you get a little speed coming into it. But it's long enough that you do have to work at the end. Got a couple guys off the front right there. The finish line when we go this way is kind of once you crest the hill. It's right here on the curve. You can see over on the right, you can see the truck, and that's where the finish line is. All right, so here's the preem lap. So I need to win if I want to try to potentially move up in the series. I feel like that's my best shot at it. I was talking to my teammate Tyler and was telling him to try to go for the preem and potentially go early. That way it might draw out Andrew and I could jump on Andrew's wheel and maybe end up taking it that way. Might have been a bit early if that was Tyler. Got Mike Robson from 10-Speed Hero chasing him down. So I end up trying to get on Mike's wheel. I give it up, then Andrew comes through, so I jump on his wheel. Skip ahead a little bit. I'm in pretty good position here. I've got Tyler in front of me. In front of him is Andrew, and in front of him is Mike from 10-Speed Hero. So the guy in the blue is the one I'm trying to beat. I decided to try to go early and surprise him and get a gap. And I really thought I had a gap. But I do start to die here in a second. I went a little bit too early. And it was funny when I was looking back at Bradley Haley's video of this. Turns out I really didn't have a gap at all. That shadow you see behind me, that's Andrew. Once I realized Andrew was there, Kind of knew that was inevitable, that he was going to beat me, so unfortunately I did not get that point. So now you got Tyler from my team and Andrew from 10 Speed Hero up there. Didn't know if they were going to try to stay away or not. You got Chad from Mercedes right there. At this point I was trying to recover from my sprint. And then we had, I can't remember that guy's name, but he normally doesn't race here, so he takes off, and Andrew jumps on his wheel. And let me see, Doug over there on the left from my team, he takes off after Andrew, which of course he needs to do if he wants a chance of winning the series. He's got to be up there with those guys. So right now, the breakaway has basically all of the points. If they were to stay away, then there'd be no points available, so I wouldn't be able to move up in the series. I had briefly thought about trying to go with Doug when I saw him going across, but then part of me said, well, if I go across, it might drag more people. If he's up there with Andrew, at least he's got a shot. There's a chance that he can get away and beat him. But ultimately, I probably should have tried to jump across, because if I had, then I'd at least have a chance of getting some points. I was pretty tired at that point, and it turns out, again, watching Bradley's video, I think he was right on my wheel anyway, so probably would have been a bad move. I think we're coming into the final lap here. And that's it, yep. We are on our final lap. At this point, it looks like the brake is going to stay away. And I think they've got enough guys in that break again to take up all the top 5 spots. Maybe they only had 4, I can't remember exactly. See Bradley off to the left there, and then Nate from Revolution takes a little bit of a flyer. There's Bradley there. I think I'm going to give it one more go to try to get away from him and see if I can somehow get a point. I see him pull off there, so I take that as my cue. I'm going to try to go to the other side, get away from him. I ended up connecting with this group of 4 that was slightly off the front. Probably should have kept the pressure on and kept going past them instead of just sitting in. Once I did that, I think it allowed everybody to catch up. I don't know how far Bradley was behind me, but turns out he was right there. I need to get a rear camera. So there's Bradley. So that was basically it. That was kind of my last chance at getting points for the series. So we got Nate just a little bit ahead of us. I don't know if he's trying to hold everybody off, but Mike Robson takes off from 10-Speed Hero in the white there, and then 2 Mercedes guys follow him. I try to follow for a second, and then honestly, I just kind of give up. I realize points are out the window. I've got a race that's starting up right after this, so I figured might as well shut it down and save a little bit for the next race. Unfortunately, I was not able to improve, but still, it was an amazing series, super fun. 4th place was honestly was what I deserved. Bradley was stronger than me most of the time, so I think it's a fair result. Maybe next year I can make it to the top 3, but I was able to make it onto the wide egg podium since they do 1st through 5th. So that was pretty awesome. That was an improvement from last year, and I am looking forward to doing it again next year. Thanks, everyone, and I'm just going to roll in here, and then you can see the final standings for the weekly race and for the final series points. See you next year.